Hi, I'm Jim Smith, USG Committees for MUN, and today's video is going to be about the interaction between both committees in a joint crisis. A joint crisis is unique because it's two separate committees, but each is affected by actions taken by the other committee. So in this video, the first committee is going to receive news of a particular event. They're going to respond, and then the second committee is going to receive news of that response and respond in kind. And then the first committee will receive news of that response from the second committee and then act once again. The two committees in this video are going to be NATO on the one hand and the African Union on the other.
Delegates, as you have heard, there's been a terrorist attack against the Turkish city of Iznik. It is suspected that it has originated from the Al-Shabaab terrorist movement in Ethiopia. Are there any speakers on the subject? Turkey, you're recognized.
A motion to invoke Article 5 of the NATO Charter, which states that an attack against one is an attack against all. NATO will be conducting airstrikes against the Ethiopian militants unless the Ethiopian government turns over the Al-Shabaab terrorist leaders to the Turkish government.
Thank you, Turkey. That motion is in order. All those in favor of entering voting procedure, please raise your placard at this time. All those opposed, this clearly passes. All those in favor of invoking Article 5 against Ethiopia, please raise your placards at this time. This clearly passes. Thank you, delegates.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have news that NATO has agreed to invoke Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty. They will be launching missile strikes and an invasion shortly thereafter unless Ethiopia surrenders the terrorists responsible for the attacks in Turkey. Thank you.
Evidently the speaker isn't taking any questions, so do we have any speakers? Ethiopia.
The response to the situation is overblown and frankly juvenile. Not only do I not have any contact with the leaders of Al-Shabaab or anyone in their organization, but I don't have the capability to defend myself from a missile strike from NATO. So I have absolutely no idea what we should do here.
Egypt, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Look, Ethiopia, we know full well that you have contact with Al-Shabaab. You've been supporting them for years to destabilize Somalia and continue your presence there, give you an excuse to continue your domination of the Somali people. As a result, I think if you want to rebuild trust, you need to do exactly what NATO has said that you need to do, which is, simply put, give up the terrorists. We know you know where they are.
Further speakers. DR Congo.
It's time for Africa. We need to stand up and defend this country. We need to defend Africa as a continent. We need to stand up and protect the Ethiopians.
All right, delegates, it seems as though there's a consensus emerging. If we could draft up a press release or something along those lines. Ghana, did you have something?
Just a motion to release a press release stating that Ethiopia has no contact with the leaders of Al-Shabaab, regrets that these attacks occurred, and that the African Union will be defending Ethiopia should a missile strike and military incursion occur.
I think that's in order at this time. All those in favor, please raise your placards. And all those opposed. Okay, this motion clearly passes.
Greece would like to assure this organization that our debt crisis will not affect our ability to militarily...
Excuse me, Greece, but I think we have an update from a news official.
All right, we have a news brief from the African Union. The African Union has decided to defend Ethiopia from any strike or invasion. This is an insulting breach of their sovereignty, in their words, and Ethiopia contests that the terrorists are hiding in the Ogaden region bordering Somalia.
Thank you. This is a very important event that just happened. Can we have some speakers to talk about it, please? Poland.
In proclaiming solidarity with Ethiopia, the AU has made itself a partner to protecting the terrorist organization. I believe we should start airstrikes immediately.
Thank you, Poland. Speakers, United States.
The United States believes that our organization, NATO, has the severe advantage in the air capabilities and missile capabilities over Africa. And like what was just stated, we do need to respond in the same way. Just because the AU is standing by their terrorist brothers doesn't mean that we should allow them to. So we should continue with the airstrikes and let our air superiority take the battle to them.
Thank you, United States. Speakers? Seeing none, points for motions?
Motion.
Yes, United Kingdom.
Motion to enact airstrikes on Ethiopia.
That is in order at this time. All those in favor of conducting military exercises against Ethiopia, please raise your placards at this time. All those opposed, this thoroughly passes. Thank you, delegates. You will begin airstriking Ethiopia shortly.
So, as you can see, in the first committee, NATO received news of a terrorist attack that was supposedly perpetrated by terrorists backed by the Ethiopian government. So they decided to invoke Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty and launch a military intervention against Ethiopia. News of this action was delivered to the African Union. Ethiopia and several other countries responded, and then the decision was made to announce the African Union's intention to defend Ethiopia against the NATO invasion. And then NATO, in turn, received news of this response and decided to proceed with the invasion anyway. So, this is a very good approximation of how an actual Joint Crisis Committee will interact.